I want to say welcome to you this afternoon. And I know that this session will be not just an interesting one, but full of insight and one that we can gain a lot of professional insights as marketing professionals and even as entrepreneurs in our various sectors. And at this point, I want to welcome in a special way our panelists who will be sharing their wealth of experience with us today. Let me also welcome the moderator, Precious. Precious, can we see you? You're welcome, Precious.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you
so much. So it's going to be an amazing session, like I said, and it's going to be one that we'll always remember. You can share the link as well to your network, to those within your network who are marketing professionals. Is open to all to join. At this point, I will hand over the session to Precious, who will introduce us to our panelists. Precious, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Sam. Thank you so much. This is to officially welcome everybody to this event. So today we are having two amazing speakers, Mr. John Olaoye, and Mr. I hope I pronounced this well, Ido Renye Enang. So I'll be reading their profile. Please stay with me. So ID, as is fondly called, has an illustrious career spanning over 30 years. He has held key positions of increasing responsibility as executive management levels across Africa, building and transforming several global brands like Guinness, a subsidiary of Diageo. As a brand manager, Coca-Cola, as the country marketing manager in Kenya, chief of staff to the Equatorial Africa president, then later driving the business in the East and Central region as general manager before moving on to turn around Cadbury from a near comatose state to profitability as commercial director. He had an exceptional stint at Samsung Electronics, West Africa, where he served as managing director for Nigeria out of his West Africa hub in Lagos. And until recently served as the managing director for L'Oreal, Central West Africa, where he managed the two subsidiaries of the beauty giant across West Africa. His exemplary leadership and service in the course of his career set him on a global stage where he served in various executive positions as the region vice president for Africa for the World Federation, past president of the Advertisers Association of Nigeria, past chairman of the Heads of Advertising Sectorial Group, and a former member of council at APCON, the Advertising Practitioners Council of Nigeria, which regulates the practice of advertising in Nigeria. He sits on the advisory board of Awesome Treasures Foundation, Strap and Safe Child Foundation, Strategy for Mentoring Initiative, and Leadership Empowerment, SMILE, and the Consumer Advocacy for Food Safety and Nutritional Initiative. He also served as a board member of Pro Risk Insurance Brokers and Fuel Communication Limited. He is also the president and chairman of Governing Council of the National Institute of Marketing. Wow. He's currently the CEO of Corporate Shepherds Limited, an organization founded by him to serve as a social enterprise to develop and enhance people and organizational capability. Driven by a performance and productivity mindset, he runs a bundle of initiatives in the media, open seminars for grooming leaders and young people to improve their competencies and career prospects. Corporate Shepherds currently has a wide array of youth and numerous executives under his mentorship, under our mentorship. In most private and public circles, is often described as a trustee of posterity. ID is a licensed practitioner for insight discovery and liberating leadership UK. He also hosts a popular radio program called Navigate with ID, a leadership and business talk show that airs on 5 different popular stations across the nation. Heidi is a trained economist and holds an MBA with specialty in marketing. He is a much sought after speaker in business and leadership management conferences within and outside the continent. He enjoys reading, listening to music, and loves traveling. Wow, that's like a robust profile. So now we move on to Mr. John Ola Olaoye. John Ola Olaoye is a consummate marketing professional with almost 25 years of marketing experience, working in some of the best organizations in the flour mill subsector of the food and beverage arm of the Nigerian manufacturing sector. They include Honeywell Flour Mills, Dangote Flour Mills, PLC, Tiger Brands of South Africa, Crown Flour Mills Limited. Crown Flour Mills is a subsidiary of Olam International, an agribusiness company with operations in more than 70 countries of the world, where he currently holds the position of General Manager, Sales and Marketing. He is a fellow of the National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria. He works with a team of brilliant marketing professionals through the LOC of the then Nigerian Institute of Marketing to midwife the charter status granted to the Institute in 2003. John Olaoye is a faculty member of the Rome Business School, Nigeria, where he teaches MBA and Master in Marketing and Sales. He also teaches consumer behavior and marketing information for gaining customer insight, the former being a prerequisite for achieving the status of full membership of the Institute. At the Olam Academy, Nigeria, John Olaoye teaches leadership, personal effectiveness, and the selling process. He's a public speaker of repute who has at different points in time spoken at various forums, retreats, some of which include Lagos Job Fair 2012, organized by Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila Foundation, and the 2017 public lecture of the Faculty of Social Sciences of the University of Lagos. Right about now, we'll be calling on stage as the first speaker of this event, Mr. John Ola Olaoye. Mr. John Ola Olaoye, are you on the call?
Yes, I am.
It's so nice to have you here. It's so good to have you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Well, I'm not new. I'm still expecting Mr. IDNN to join us. He spoke with me a while ago. He spoke with me about 12, 13 minutes ago or thereabouts. And he was held up in a traffic jam at that point in time. And had asked me to resend the link to him. So he's probably going to be joining us from his car, but I'll be kickstarting the process. Again, I welcome each and every one of faculty, students, and friends and other stakeholders to this webinar. And I've been asked to talk mainly about contemporary practices and challenges in marketing. Before now, there were traditional, marketing practices, which some of us are familiar with, okay? The way we did marketing communications in the traditional way probably was only through above the line and below the line alone, okay? It was probably through print, was probably through electronic media, all right? And some other ways like that too. But in today's world, and I used to say this anytime I'm talking at Rome Business School, that everybody should be mindful of the fourth industrial revolution, which comes with artificial intelligence, which comes with robotics, which comes with 3D printing. And now that the whole of year 2020, we had to deal with the pandemic. It has changed everything. Don't forget that before the pandemic, we've witnessed a lot of developments in the technological, area. And so because of all these factors, marketers now have to think about digital strategy. It is imperative that as a marketer who does not want to become a dinosaur in the 21st century, you must think about digital marketing. Digital marketing, it is very important. If you don't have a digital strategy, then you become a dinosaur, okay? I will share later with students a particular study that HubSpot did, and the report was written. And you find out that in 2021, so much emphasis is going to be laid on social media. Social media. Obviously, if you are not on social media, sorry, you are out of it. You are playing at the peripheral space. You are not playing at the core of marketing today. Okay? And the author, or one of the authors of that report, wrote about baby shark dance. I never knew there was any baby shark dance, but I knew my children, some of my children talked about baby shark dance and all that. It was viewed by 7 billion people. 7 billion. Think about that. Think about that. 7 billion people. Okay? Now, if you move away from social media marketing, you'll be talking about email marketing. And some people have thought that email marketing will probably go away, but it's not going away. It is still one strategy that is important that every marketing professional should be using right now, okay? And then what about artificial intelligence? What about chatbots? I wouldn't say I didn't like Wema Bank. If you ask me, Wema Bank belonged to my late father, the generation of my late father, until they came up with alerts. All right. And with alerts, you could see a lot of younger people flocking, towards Wema Bank because it was interactive. You could do a whole lot of things with it. I used to have a colleague in the office who spoke so well about Leo of UBA. All right. And it made things interactive. It made things easy. All these are chatbots. All right. They are chatbots. Okay. But basically, in this 21st century, you find out that some people are not even using it or they are not thinking about it. Those who are not doing so, they will soon be out of business. Now, another area I want us to look at is video marketing. Video marketing. Okay, HubSpot reported that last year, 12.2 billion minutes of video. People watched 12.2 billion minutes of video. Think about that. Last year alone. Okay, so if you are not also doing video marketing, you are not a contemporary marketing professional. Okay, so these are some of the things that we need to be sure we are looking at. And I need to also talk about customer experience. In fact, today, customers don't want you to sell products to them or service. They want you to sell experience to them. And you know what? If you sell positive experience to them on all the touch points, then you will help them to generate positive word of mouth about your product or about your service. Philip Kotler said in one of his lectures in China, he said, in the 21st century, marketers will be managing word of mouth. Marketers will be managing word of mouth. And let me quickly just talk about one of the challenges that I have entered down. In today's world, it is now a dialogue. It's no longer a monologue. When you put whatever form of communication you put on social media, for instance, okay, in times past, if you had any form of advertising campaign, it was a monologue. You probably didn't get feedback like that. But if you put anything on social media, you start to get reviews almost immediately. Now, the reviews you start to get, God bless you if those reviews are positive. If the reviews are not positive, it can kill a particular category. And I'll give you 2 examples very, very quickly. One example is one from the recent past. How many of you saw the video that was trending on Facebook at one time one lady came up with, I don't want to mention the name of that semolina. They came up with a particular semolina, and the lady was washing the semolina up till a point where she got something that was elastic. I don't know how many people saw the video. All right. And then the lady was saying that, oh, these people, they are just killing us. So, unknown to her, semolina is made from wheat. Gluten is part of wheat. Gluten makes for elasticity. For those of us who have been in that industry a long time, you know that it is gluten that even makes it possible that when you combine it with yeast and you subject it to heat, it expands, all right? We call it oven spring. The bread that you eat, some will like puff puff, it is gluten that makes it happen that the thing will swell. Out of ignorance, the lady said it was plastic they were giving people to eat and everything. And she gave poor communication. She gave communication that was not true to the public. And people started to come up with different conversations until some of us rose up, and then some nutritionists rather came to our aid. Prior to that time, I don't know how many of you remember whole wheat meal. Whole wheat meal. Now, a lot of Nigerians used to eat whole wheat meal until somebody came up with a particular review and said that it was not better than Gari, that Gari was even better, okay? And they started to talk about glycemic index, some of the things that they did not really understand. You know what? Today, whole wheat meal is less than 10% of what it used to be prior to that issue. So one basic challenge today is that you've got to be able to manage the reviews that are taking place, the conversations that are taking place online as regards your brands, as regards your products, as regards your service or services as it were. Another challenge, which I just want to speak to very, very quickly, because I'm expecting that Mr. Enang will come on board. Another challenge I want to speak to very quickly is that internet has made the customer knowledgeable today. Before a customer comes to you, he has probably researched on the internet. What that means is that you have to be as well knowledgeable as regards the product or service you are putting online or whatever form of communication you are putting online. And I'll give you, not only are they knowledgeable like that, some of them are even well-traveled, some of them are even exposed, okay? So it's not, and that's why at Rome Business School, we try to be sure that we give knowledge for action and knowledge in such a way that it is in a multidisciplinary fashion and people who have experience, they are sharing with you, okay? Now, I'll give you this example. I went for, oh, thank God, Mr. Enang is joining. Good to see you, sir.
I tell you,
all right.
Apologies, it's been crazy. You don't want to imagine where I am. But
I can imagine.
Joining, apologies to everyone.
I can imagine. So I was saying that today's customer is not only tech savvy, is knowledgeable, and is probably is well-traveled, probably is exposed, okay? So if you are putting out any form of communication, if you are engaging the customer, I think a fortnight ago, I was teaching customer engagement at Rome Business. We were talking about customer engagement and some other things, and I'll also be talking about it on the 20th. Now, basically, the thing about it is that the way you are putting out your customer engagement, be sure of what you are putting out because the customer is knowledgeable. I'll give you an example. I went to see a doctor at Lagoon Hospital about 3 or 4 months ago, and the doctor was, making some recommendations. And I said, hello, I was in the US, and when they saw this particular medication, they threw it, they trashed it, and said, no human being should be using this. And the lady could not really understand where I was coming from. Look, this is my body. And if they could tell me that this has been banned in the US, I'm wondering what you guys are still doing with it in Nigeria. And she just wriggled out of it somehow. And I'm like, okay, I may use it, I may not use it. Because you have not given me convincing, explanation as to why I should use a drug that has been trashed. Okay? In the same way, you probably are the marketing director of a Coast Carries, for instance. And then you want to explain something about automobiles to somebody who wants to buy. The person has probably read all the reviews on the internet. So the internet makes it easy for everybody to see what is happening. And then finally, before I allow Mr. Enang to speak, who is the president of the National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria and the chairman of the Governing Council. I want to just talk about customer research, consumer research, marketing research. I know a few times I've spoken about that at Rome Business School as well. There's no room for gut feeling. Okay, whatever you want to do has to be data-driven. And today's world, we talk about big data, we talk about analytics and stuff like that. There are tools that can help you to achieve all of this. But it's an issue. Ethics is an issue. The people you are engaging, if they don't have the correct certifications, they can doctor the data, they can use the data to do whatever they'd like to do. And at different times at Rome Business School, myself and the students, we've had to look at what happened to Facebook with respect to Cambridge Analytica. Okay, somebody just felt that, okay, we can just harvest data and use the data for political purpose and make money from it. Whereas those people who own the data, they were not even aware that that was the purpose it was going to be used for. This is lack of ethics. This is a major challenge. This is something that we ought not to be looking at. Then finally, you must be thinking about international marketing. You must be going global, okay? But the other challenge with going global or with international marketing is that you must be aware of the different cultural practices in different parts of the world, the different cultural practices in different parts of the world. If I was a consultant to Twitter, I would love to tell Jack Dorsey what he probably did not understand. I would love to tell his team that there's a model that a guy called Gert Hofstede in IBM brought up with respect to culture in different regions of the world. And unless you understand all these things, you have issues. I can give you various case studies with respect to global companies that did not put cultural practices in mind, and they failed in different parts of the world. How do you go to India, for instance, and you go and serve them a menu that has a cow on your menu? The average Indian would just look at you like, okay. And here I've also told some of my friends at Rome Business School that sometime when I used to work for Honeywell in the North, I saw severally where posters showed on Malta Guinness, Bagia chicken, and I asked them what it meant. They said it meant that there was no alcohol in it. Okay. And I asked them further. They said, well, Guinness Stout and Malta Guinness, they look alike. So you need to tell them that, look, there's no alcohol in this one. Otherwise, they don't even want to see. They might start to break the bottles. So I think at this point, I should allow my president to come in. Thank you for joining us, sir. In spite of all odds.
Despite all odds. And John, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. We can all hear you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, distinguished colleagues. And let me tender so much an unreserved apology. I had a previous engagement which I had already notified John, and I thought that to transit from that place to my office where I'll have a better band to work with will make all the best. But trust me, my dreams didn't come true. And I think the wild part of it was that I didn't realize the traffic we were in was probably because the powers that be decided to block off the road. So I started looking for where else. At some point, I decided I was going to stay in my car. And that was the point I made that call. I said, you know what, I'm just going to stay in my car and transmit from here. But I got a footnote from a friend who said, why don't you try so and so place? So I'm holed up in some place. I'm not ready to give them airtime because you would be shocked. I just rebranded for a space where I could just sit back. And I was told if you have to pay for the space, and I'm waiting to get my bill after, just to sit here and be able to speak to you. But it's amazing how things happen. But I was very clear in my head. If it meant that I was just going to stand outside, I'll end up apologizing to make this happen. So please accept my sincere apologies, and I'm glad to be here. So John, tell me what to do and how to roll, and then I'm all yours, and how much time I would still have.
We've been talking about contemporary practices in marketing and the challenges, the challenges that come, with the contemporary practices. And you must have heard a few things that I said.
Well, you're my boss, so and everything you said was okay. I just hope when I get to a certain point, you and I will not quarrel, because I heard you talk about God feeling. I said, oh my God, did he take a peep into my slide when I have a part about that? Well, it's all part of it for us to have healthy conversations and then help build the capacity of our knowledge. So more than happy. Once you give me the nod, I'll take the floor.
You have the floor, sir.
Oh, thank you. Bruno Courier, is that I know that name, I know that face, I know that person, one of my guys. I hope it's the same Bruno. Bruno, if you are, just, I'm sure I'll have some of my bosses on this platform. Sorry, please, I'd like to, let me just see where I can. Please, can you see this? Can you see my slide there, please?
Yes.
We can.
Okay.
We can.
Yeah, thank you. This is I must really confess, and I'm really up for confessions today. So much confessions. Please, John, how much time do I have so I can walk myself within the limits?
30 minutes.
30. So it's 1:35 by my clock. I should end at 1:05. I'll do my best. Good afternoon, distinguished colleagues, friends, and also the faculty and distinguished members of the Rome Business School. Thank you so much for having me. And I apologize once again for the logistical challenge that I've had, getting here. The good news is that I'm here. And the good news is that we're able to roll through the dice. I've been asked to just share my thoughts on contemporary practices and challenges in marketing. For those that know me very well, I can be slightly controversial. Controversial from the standpoint is I don't normally look at things the way everybody looks at it. And so to help me stir the hearts and minds, and I'll also crave your indulgence, I would like to show some videos. I want to start by showing some videos, and that will be, at the bench of what I call the opening of this slide, contemporary marketing practices. I just summarized them into 3: relationship marketing, which is really about maintaining health; industrial marketing, which is about business to business, serving needs; and social marketing, a bit of that Mr. Olai had spoken to, about tools and techniques. And this is what every marketer is trying to do. So if you look at within the contemporaneous setup, these 3 major pillars play. We'll either about relationship marketing, consumer customer, industrial marketing, business to business, or social marketing, applying tools and techniques to enable the organization reap the benefits of this investment they are making in the world of marketing and towards their customers or consumers. it is on this basis I would like to show you a couple of videos. And please, I'd like someone to please indicate to me whether they can hear and you can see it.
If there are billions of conversations happening every minute, imagine how many times your bank must have been talked about while you finish watching this video. Each conversation is a business moment for you to create a memorable experience for your customers that they would want to share with others.
Sorry, I paused it. John, please, can I get a thumb sign to know that you can hear the video? Or Precious, let me just see a thumbs up sign. Okay. Thank you. I can continue. I'll take it back and I'll start again. Sorry for pausing. I just wanted to be sure.
If there are billions of conversations happening every minute, imagine how many times your bank must have been talked about while you finish watching this video. Each conversation is a business moment for you to create a memorable experience for your customers that they would want to share with others. Envision the world's future, from smartphone to a smarter phone, from a car with a driver to a car without a driver. Future is the next present, where our imagination today has become Lisa's fully automated banking experience in 2020. While Lisa is sleeping, her phone receives a notification regarding the shipment, which is ready with the exporter. The intelligent software checks for funds and notifies her bank that she would need a letter of credit. Understanding an urgent change in schedule, her phone automatically resets the alarm for 7 a.m. so that she can plan her day. By the time Lisa is ready to go, her smartwatch receives a notification that her black vehicle is low on fuel and suggests that she drives the red car. The GPS selects the shortest route, and Lisa arrives the New Age Bank's intelligent branch sharp at 9. From the moment Lisa arrives at the bank's special branch with no staff at all, the door installed with intelligent communicator scans Lisa to notify the bank about her arrival. Bank's interactive walls talk to Lisa to tell her about how she can transact better with bank's offers or corporate credit. Meanwhile, her smartwatch directs her to a special kiosk where the bank welcomes Lisa, automatically logs her in, and connects her to an expert who is a client of the bank too, to guide her about the needs for the letter of credit. Within minutes, her letter of credit is approved, the exporter receives the payment, Lisa's shipment is released, and the time is just 9:15 a.m. Rewinding to today, can you imagine the intelligent banking experience on a vacation? While Ted is enjoying his vacation, a bike, Harley, passes by, catching his attention. The bike has been Ted's dream since school. Ted takes the picture and uploads it on his social media account. Instantly, bank's intelligent software picks up Ted's interest in this bike, analyzes his post on social media, his sentiment, his conversations about the product, and after analyzing his spending pattern, the bank offers a pre-approved bike loan along with information on the best dealers around, their discounts offered, and the color options available, all on the go. While Ted is still on vacation, bank's geotagging technology identifies Ted's location, instantly analyzes his credit card spending pattern, and offers him the best deals on bike accessories at a nearby store. And this is not all. Before the vacation ends, the bank delights Ted by offering him free airline miles and complimentary hotel stay to plan his next vacation. Imagine millions of customers like Ted for a bank like yours. The intelligent software enables you to continuously track millions of social media conversations to engage, interact, and offer a futuristic banking experience to your valuable customers. Place, time, or medium no longer matters. Engage your customers. Delight your customers. NewGen products help you do just that by connecting systems, processes, people, and things of your business. Reinvent your workplace with NewGen.
Okay.
If there are billions of conversations happening.
One. I will take a second one. Brief.
Customers hate friction. Standing in line, holding on the phone, or having to sign endless documents. All they want is to focus their time and energy on the activities they value. Take, for example, the challenges of opening an account. New clients are often required to meet face-to-face with a bank representative to verify their identity and provide personal information. If they can create an account online, the process can take days, filling out long forms, making deposits, and sending documents back and forth. And it's the same experience for existing clients who want to open another account. Banks already have their info, but don't really know their customer. The result? Customers are the ones feeling the pain when all they're trying to do is add to a bank's revenue by using the bank's services. Something is wrong here. We wanted to make it right. We forced ourselves to fundamentally reimagine customer onboarding, to imagine a world where 1 million new customers per hour would be possible without significantly increasing cost. It meant leaving traditional processes and technologies behind, as they could not meet the challenge. We had to move to a truly digital customer experience. We rethought each step as we built an efficient and scalable infrastructure to disrupt the onboarding experience. That's what Deloitte's Digital Bank Accelerator is all about. And we've already created it for one of our clients. This new onboarding process takes less than 2 minutes and can be done anywhere. All you need is a mobile device, a government-issued ID, and a smile. The application picks up your location and language preferences from your mobile device. Cycling, cardless withdrawals, and cross-border transfers. Our accelerator is a cloud-based application on top of a flexible and scalable microservices architecture. It's a showcase of the digital banking modules we've built with our clients. By pairing our network of leading-class fintech alliance vendors with our experience integrating core banking applications and complex back-end systems, we can help you take the next step, a step towards the future of digital banking.
Okay, that's, I'd like to, crave your indulgence. I won't go here. Let me go to one more ad. Let me show this as the last one. I'm passionate about this, just to bring home what I said about, the practices. I had about 5 videos lined up, but for want of time, so I can actually go into some of the nitty-gritty. Sorry, 30 minutes will not be ample time, but I want to provoke your thoughts. I want to provoke your thinking pattern. I also want you to see that within the ambits of relationship, industrial, and social marketing, a lot is actually happening. Watch this. I'm so tempted that I would just want to show one more, and then very tempted on this one. Pardon me. This one. Watch carefully, please.
Okay. Hey, my man, sometimes, but oh, that was tricky. Yeah, you see this. I'm sure you stay seated. I want to see stand. There you go. See again. Hey, guys, calm down, calm down. Just watch and see. Take your time, okay? Bring some magic? No, impossible. Impossible. Oh! Oh, my man.
Well, I hope you found that very stimulating. Those videos were stimulating. When we talk about facing the future and in the real context of it, what I did was to show you 3 videos that cut across what I talked about, that the era we are in, a lot of practices around relationship marketing, around business to business, and then talking about the other part, which is the social, using the tools and techniques. You've been able to see how brands, there you can see from the service industry also to fast-moving consumer good brands, and how best they are more or less electrifying their consumers and also making sure that life is running well. And so I want to step into this because of what you've seen. I want to go into the next part, which is about what do we take as messages, as marketers, as people that are business driven. Whether it's our customer or our consumers, they always ask, give me what I want. This is exactly the position. This is where every average marketer sits. I remember the days when I had the privilege of launching Satsembrow at Guinness as brand manager many years ago. And also before then, we launched Malta Guinness. I imagine what it took to launch Malta Guinness in 1991 and what it then took to launch Satsembrow in 1995. 4 years apart, it was about give me what I want. I'm seeing a hand up. I don't know, Amina Danesi. Amina, do you want to ask a question or something? Or I'm seeing the hand up. Can I ask that you probably drop that in the... Oh, okay, the videos are distorted? Oh, my world. Sorry, okay, thank you. I'll send the links to you so you can enjoy them. I didn't imagine that it must be network, so apologies. Apologies, okay? Now, here's the whole point of what, or the message that I want to put on the table. Everyone is always asking me, give me what I want. And every marketing drive is really to fulfill the desires of the customer or the consumer. But being consumer end user based, you always want to deliver on that part. Now, the challenges that we have in marketing today actually sit around the fundamentals. I want to tell you something, and this is really coming straight from my heart. One major challenge that we have in marketing today is that marketing has become very fragmented. Marketers do not even know that marketing as it is business, and business is marketing. Marketing is the beginning and the end. Why? If you go from the original pathway of defining what marketing is, marketing, like a typical Kotler would tell you, is creating demand, fulfilling that demand at a profit. So in the place of demand creation, in the place of demand fulfillment, you have your supply chain, you have logistics, and in the place of profit, you can then look at HR, look at finance, and those will all be your enablers. I hope you can all hear me very well. I hope you can hear me. And that's a critical part. Marketing drives the entire business, but many people today have gotten into this space of I'm a digital marketer, and you find that we are building grounds for specialists. What do I mean by specialists? People are sitting back in my well, pardon me to say, back in my day, that you wouldn't sit in one part and tell me you are a communications expert only. You can't sit only in the in the communications aspect and tell me that is marketing. That is not marketing. But today you have direct marketing, which has always been digital marketing. People telling you, oh, I have skills in digital marketing. Once you attend, put in an appendage, they say, oh, it's marketing. Customer service, it's marketing. Trade marketing, integrated marketing specialist or communication, channel marketing. But the original picture of marketing had always been with brand management. I mean, I grew up as a brand manager. A brand manager is a general manager. Nobody would sign off the labels for Sax and Brown, the labels for Guinness. Every piece that will go, if you go into the brew house, they are going to taste the beer. If the brand manager or brand manager gets there and says, this brew is not good enough, they will flush that brew. But today, it's a big challenge because it's been fragmented. People are picking up skills as digital marketers, and that's why marketers don't become business leaders. That's the challenge. So I'm putting this out because it's from Michael Jordan, and he says, get the fundamentals down, and the level of everything you do will rise. That's what Michael Jordan says. And what do I mean by the fundamentals? And this is going to lead me to the speak I have because I have less moments. I'm hoping someday I'll be able to sit in a room with you guys and look at this, construct and deconstruct it, and we can pile upon pile, because a lot of us are selling ourselves some things that are not. Those things are not. This is a big challenge, and that big challenge is about the marketing of the future. The marketing of the future is about the who, it's about the what, it's about the why, it's about the how. Many years ago, I had the privilege of being the vice president, region vice president for Africa at the World Federation of Advertisers. I was elected in China alongside this gentleman called Chris Borgreaves. Chris Borgreaves was the president of WFA. I was the region president. He was president for, I think he was Europe, but he also was president for Europe and the overall president. I was president for Africa. Now, we used to have conversations in 2011, 2012. What I'm about to share with you are conversations we had in 2012. And he went on to write a book. He also went on to write, a lot more literature on it. He was the chief marketing officer of AB and Bev. AB and Bev today, they've come into Nigeria fully, so you know who they are. But at that time, they were not in Nigeria. But he was a overall marketing boss global. And he was a pally, a friend, colleague, and we sat on the board of WFA at the global level. We always talked about the who. So if you want to go into the world of the challenge of marketing today, it's about the who, it's about the what, it's about the why, it's about the how. I'm going to save you all of the trouble. The who of marketing is about the discipline of marketing, and this is what is causing a lot of the trouble. What is this about discipline of marketing? Marketing is both an art and a science, but it has a philosophy to it. There's a philosophy to marketing that makes you sit down and you can philosophize. You can predictably say, this is the direction it will go. Why? Because you're seeing the age where datanomics, as I call it, that's my coinage, data and economics, just datanomics, is about mining data. It's about understanding the human science. It's about looking at the mind. How does the consumer think? Coca-Cola is going to place a bottle of a can of Coke somewhere. They must think through how many consumers will walk through there. They don't just place, we don't just place water. I mean, in the days we used to have Ever Water, you go into a gondola or you go into a supermarket, where we place Ever Water will be exactly where you have the salad bar. It is not that we just woke up. It's about the science of it. We've studied consumer behavior, and we know this is how consumers behave. But then it's more important, not just about the consumer. This is the shopper. The man that goes to shop is different from the man that consumes. So there's shopper diary. There's also the consumer diary. And this is the crux of it all. The who of marketing is about the discipline. It takes rebel thinking because you have to create. Marketing is about creating, and you must be, have a rebel thinking. And this is where, John, I was talking about, for folks like us, when you combine rebel thinking plus guts, because today, after 3 decades of being in the profession of marketing, I think there's some things I can tell you about Godfield. I can tell you from experience because I've had the privilege of running across different spectra and marketing goods and brands and making the best for consumers. And then there's the science. All of that come together to create the marketer of the future. So if you want to be a marketer of the future, you must be 3/3. You must have rebel thinking. You must have the guts, must understand the guts of the business, and you must have that science behind it and the discipline about the human science. Because if you don't get that, you're not going to crack it. Then, of course, you must be street smart. Without that, the who does not manifest. The second part, which is the what of marketing, is just to say that marketers need to move the needle on hard outcomes. We need to move the needle and look. Marketing is about brand health, not on easier control inputs like creative material. But these days, you find people waste a lot of time on creative material and outputs like likes. They spend too much time looking at likes. How many likes did you get? You're assessing likes. No, it's about brand health. That is a word of marketing. But many are getting it wrong. Again, back to the challenge I mentioned, it's about the fragmentation. There's been too much of fragmentation, branches that are now become places of skills that people are hiding under. But they forget one thing: you cannot be whole. You can only be a figment of the tree, but you can't take root. And that's why after a while, you can't be business leader. They will yank you off. But when you have the full tree that is knocking out branches, I can serve in any capacity. I can serve you as a digital marketer, as a direct. I can serve you customer service. I can talk about trade marketing. I can talk about integrated marketing. I can talk about channel drive. It was channel marketing that made me work and drive Samsung differently when I got to Samsung. I can talk about BTL, but people specialize in those things today and hold them. No, guys, we need to move to the brand health. It's a word of marketing. It's about understanding the behavior and attitudes of the customer and the consumer. And all of that is better in three things: awareness, experience, and equity. All of that will sink in, and you then see that marketing has a place. So let me go swiftly to one that a lot of marketers don't look at, the bottom line. Knowing how your brand is perceived enables you to course correct as necessary so that your brand delivers. A lot of marketers do not think about the bottom line. Start thinking bottom line, friends, because it's part of the world of marketing. It's at a profit, not at a loss. The why of marketing is about the essence. Marketers need the skill to market in context. They must earn and re-earn the social license to operate. You can't leave a person for 2 days. Imagine you're a father. You leave your son or daughter when she was born. She saw you at 2 months. She saw you at the first birthday. You decide to go for a course, 3-year course, and not talk to your daughter, not interact with your daughter. Then after 3 years, you come back and say, my lovely daughter. What would happen? She will embrace you. She will look at you as a stranger. Marketers must begin to understand the why. The essence of marketing is in the why. That's the why. You must earn and re-earn the social license to operate. It is a challenge today because people think they can do anything and get away with it. But they don't understand that the end user, the consumer, is a stakeholder and he wants returns for that attention. They give you their attention. It's brand love, brand loyalty. It's a love. It's an affection that I'm exchanging for cash. And I need that value exchange. You can't take it for granted. And this is where marketing is also fading away because we are substituting it for incentives, promotions. No, it's not. It's not about promotions. I really look forward to when we can sit down and scrub most of this and to challenge our minds and people can begin to look at it differently. Last but not the least is the how of marketing. The how is the execution. It's taking that long-term view. You must always start from the beginning. What's the positioning? Positioning drives everything in marketing. But many marketers today have no idea what positioning is. Positioning is about a destination in mind. The positioning is the way you are seen in the minds of the consumer. Positioning is the way you are understood by the entire group. Positioning drives relevance and differentiation, not research and development. R&D is about relevance and differentiation. That's what brings about the segmentation and your portfolio decision. So whatever products you are churning out, whether you're a bank, you are an insurance firm, you are a tech company, you need positioning. It's marketing. Marketing is business. Marketing, permit me, I can tell you that marketing is life. Even the things that you do must oxygenate around the fiber of data. So in a short-term basis, you then start talking about your plans, which are operational. That's part of marketing. But the bigger picture is that you need to renovate. The how of marketing is about renovating. Is there anybody amongst you here that has a building or a car? You drive your car for 10 years and you don't even take it back for refurbishing, or you don't go to the mechanic, or you just keep driving and driving. One day the car will drive you. Probably, I pray not to drive you nuts, but you want to drive a car, the car shouldn't drive you. That's what marketing, the how of marketing, it's about continuous renovation, innovation, and then ensuring the pipeline is managed for you to have the recruitment and retention. That equation must always balance somewhatly. If it doesn't, there's a problem. So my friends, winning consumers through innovative marketing, as I'm coming from the how of marketing, is shifting from market competing to market creating. And this is going to be my last slide. It's just to jumpstart some thinking in your minds, and I hope you see it and understand. Creative disruption and disruptive innovation, they are dependent on destruction. When you find creative destruction is an iconic term, John Schumpeter, the Austrian economist, it's all about there may be competition, but you can also get in there and do something differently. We all know of all the examples, but destruction occurs when an innovation displaces an earlier technology. It's happening every day now. So that's where marketers sit. We sit in the business of disrupting the norm. Why? Because of what we know. When you do this, you then set yourself on a path. Remember, this is what led to film versus digital. Today, I don't know how many of you still use film. Digital has come. Why? It's disruptive. It has disrupted the entire landscape. And all it does, it keeps a new place. I just put this just to show you, for those of you who can remember Sesame Street, is to tell you it's not in every case that is disruptive. There's also non-disruptive creation. Many of us, I watched Sesame Street, and we all know about the Big Bird. We all know about Elmo, Annie. They taught us from preschool when we were kids to count, name colors. But you know what? A lot of fun comes from it. That's why that last ad I showed you by Guinness, that ad was about fun, passion, and fun. That's what marketing represents. Friends, if you look at the entire landscape and ask yourself, what is a major challenge in marketing? Is the ability to engage with my customer, to engage with my consumer, to drive secure identification for my brand, and to make relevance and equity a watchword. Ultimately, that is what marketing is. So I hope I was able to, put some of those thoughts across. Thank you for having me, and apologies again for chiming in late due to logistic issues. Over to you, Chief John.
Thank you very much, sir. I think I will hand over to Precious, who is actually moderating, so you can take over from there. Thank you very much,
thank
sir.
you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Eddie, IG, and Mr. John. Thank you so much for doing all you can to be here. Trust me, your session was so robust. We learned a lot. We learned so much. But before we take questions, I would like to call on Dr. Ada Obi. She has something to say. Dr. Ada Obi, are you on the call, please? Is Dr. Ada Obi on the call? Oh, someone is saying, I hope we can have Mr. Enang for full 2 hours. Mr. Enang, so you are booked for 2 hours. Please, is Dr. Ada Obi on the call?
Yes, I think she's trying to unmute her mic.
Okay. So Dr. Adaobi has something to say. And after which, we are going to take questions for Mr. Enang and Mr. John.
Thank you so much, Mr. ID. Thank you so much as well, Mr. John. I think Dr. Adobe is having issues with her network. She was just supposed to give us an insight on, for those of us that are joining us on this call, that are interacting with Rome Business School for the first time. You're welcome. This is Rome Business School Nigeria. Rome Business School is an Italian business school with satellite campuses all over the world, including here our Lagos campus here in Nigeria. We run executive MBA and master's program. Part of the master's program is we have master in international human resource management, we have master in marketing and sales, master in marketing and communication, which applies basically to the call we are having now with our distinguished panelists, Mr. John and Mr. ID. So for those of us that would want to join our master in marketing and sales and our master in marketing and communication, as well as our executive MBA, you can always reach out to us via our social media handles and also our website. You will have interesting sessions like this. Our classes are moderated or are facilitated by industry experts like Mr. John and Mr. ID. And someone has already said that we are hoping that Mr. ID will create out time for at least a
2-hour session.
2 hours in-depth class for our students. And that's how our classes are usually designed to be. So our classes are such that it comes in and then you have an encounter, you have a time with industry experts who gives you insight on how to navigate your career as a marketing expert. Thank you so much. Okay, Dr. Adobe.
Yes, thank you so much, Sam. Thank you very much to the speakers. Thank you, John Olaye. Thank you, Enang. God bless you for being here with us. I was listening to your discourse. Apologies to all. The network was just acting up a bit. But I really want to say that the insights you brought across just made me realize a paper I was reading through yesterday where they were looking at technological readiness and digital dexterity. So there's a need for people to understand the digitalization in marketing and all of that, and being able to consciously technologically ready to take in what is there to be taken. I really thank you for the insights you brought across, because it's not just about being able to look at it as it is and using the platforms available, but being able to look around the analytics involved in being able to consider and see how the customers are reacting. I really thank you for the insights you've brought. So like my colleague has said, Sam has actually told us about the beauty packed in one in Rome Business School vis-a-vis the programs we have. And I would say that for anyone who hasn't come on board yet, I'm sure that you would realize that now is a point in time you begin to make up your mind, because it's not just about what we do in terms of facilitating. No, it's about the practicality of what we bring on board. It's about what excitement that comes with the learning that you can begin to immediately apply in your workplace. And I bet you that if you come on board, your experience, when you do come on board, your experience in Rome Business School is going to be out of this world. It is far outside the whole ideology of just learning, but it also brings on board a lot of practicality that can make beautiful impact on your work and bring about promotions and a lot of other things as you begin to grow. So I will continue to say that our mission in Rome Business School is to build better managers for a better world. And we will do that from our own little corner in different ways through the programs we have on board. And I'm sure the sky is going to be the limit for you for joining our team. Thank you, Sam. I'll hand this back to you, Career Services.
Thank you, Ma. Over to you, Precious.
Okay, great. Thank you, Dr. Adelbi and Sam, for that amazing introduction. So now we're in the question and answer session that will last for 15 minutes. So please, let's send our questions in while I do a brief recap of what the amazing speakers spoke on. So Mr. John spoke about new age marketing, talked about 3D printing, artificial intelligence, spoke about robotics, digital strategy, social media marketing, email marketing, artificial intelligence. The one that blew my mind away was the video marketing, where he said we have 12, like people watch 12.12 billion minutes of videos, and how it's important to push out video content because now people's attention span is like really low. So they just want to see videos. They want to watch where you are explaining your brand, right? Then he spoke about customer experience. Then we went on to Mr. ID that blew our mind, spoke about relationship marketing, industrial marketing, social marketing, the how, what, why of marketing. So please, let's send in our questions. I will just check the comment to see questions. Please, let's send in our questions right about now. Okay, so somebody has a question from Shino Alabede. Is it in all cases that consumers know what they want, or at times until when they see the product or service? This relates to your slide on give me what I want. I guess this question is for Mr. ID. Sir, did you get the question?
Yeah, I think, if you read it from the standpoint of what I said, then you would actually miss out the point that a consumer tells you, give me what I want. Many times they don't know what they want. You're correct. But after you must have gone through the process of research, concept testing, getting out the product, and you go, is this the product? They'll tell you no. Does it fit that thing that you talked about? They say, not really. Remove this color. I don't like that color. Put in this or add this taste, remove this. You finish all of that and then you drop it. The next thing is, where can I find you to give it to you? Oh, you'll find me probably at my mom's garage, or you find me in my dad's beer parlor. And you begin to bring in the channel economics. At some point, they're going to come back to you and say, give me what I want. Now, the challenge with this is business does not change. And Mr. Olaye will tell you, business dynamics, a lot of issues. You might start having issues that will impact you. For example, you're a manufacturer. You can't bring in the ingredients you use to produce the product. What are you going to do? Are you going to go out of business? So you start looking for alternatives. So you need to go back to the same consumer and say, can I use maize instead of using sorghum? And then go through a whole cycle. Then they come back and say, give me what I want. I want maize, but you can't get maize. So, and that's where engagement, research, that's about data, datanomics I talked about, being there, the what of marketing and the how of marketing must always fuse into, the other parameters. Otherwise, the essence will be lost. So yes, that's the point. It's a two-way street. Give me what I want. Sometimes they don't know, but when you tell them and they tell you and you fix it, they're going to ask you, this is not what I wanted. Give me what I want. But your duty is to shape the minds, and that's where marketing comes. The battle of the mind is here, is the thinking. And that's what marketing plays on, the minefield or the battlefield of the mind.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Can I just add to that? I watched your slides and I looked at your slides and I saw where you talked about marketing being philosophy, science. You got to have a little bit of all of those. Okay. This kind of question came up some time ago. The last module I facilitated on consumer behavior at the National Institute of Marketing. Okay. Do consumers really know what they want?
Yeah.
If they did, how did we know that having iPhone that would come with camera, how did we know that we wanted it? Probably didn't know then. Okay. Now, but what we came up with was that for some of these high-tech equipments, innovation drove some of these things. Those who had to think outside the box, they had to think ahead of every other person. And another one I'll bring to our attention is Tesla. Tesla. Now, Tesla is fitting in because all of us are concerned about greenhouse gases, emission, and stuff like that. And then the guy has even taken it further to include autonomous driving vehicles. Okay. Now, did we know that we needed a Tesla that was going to be emissions free? Did we know that we needed an autonomous vehicle? We probably didn't. Okay, but the fact of the matter is that the marketer has to be a scientist, he has to be a philosopher, he has to have all these things in one, so that somehow he can be very sure that he's at the forefront of innovation as things are happening. I think this is my take on it. Thank you very much.
John, I can quickly share. Let me share from, this is business school is about practicality, it's not theory. And thank you for bringing that in. Let me share my experience. I was once MD of Samsung, and I can tell you something. Samsung didn't just appear in Nigeria. They were trading before they hired me. They sent in 1,440 engineers into Africa when they truly wanted to come into Africa to undertake an understanding of the African market. What was one thing that they found? Power was a problem across Africa, power. And so you will now see that they now made sure that made for Africa, if you go back about 10 years ago, you see built for Africa was always on every Samsung home appliance. It wasn't out of the blues, but they speak to the consumer. Now, give me what I want. People know that, everybody now knows that they need a device that when there's no power here, they know. So give me what I want is actually, they don't know what it's going to look like, but they know that they need something that can help them preserve meat, that my mother doesn't want to go to the market every day. So she knows, but she may not know that it's a refrigerator. But you will come, by the time you interact with them and you understand the culture, and then you leave them. The minute you project one thing, they will ask for another. Now the onus is on you as an OEM, equipment or manufacturer, to continue renovate and innovate to make sure you're relevant. Otherwise, some other person will catch in on that space. And I just thought I should chip that in because this give me what I want. I know many of us, if we have a magic wand, we don't want traffic. But we don't know what shape would it take. That's what we don't know. Anyway, over to you. Sorry. I just thought to share a practical experience.
Okay. So another question.
Thank you so much, Mr. Enanga, Mr. John. Okay. So I have another question here from Emmanuel. I would like to know Mr. Enang's position on the customer marketing team reporting line to marketing or to commercial.
Okay. Emmanuel is a function of the structure of the organization. I was commercial director in Cadbury way back, okay, about 10 years ago, and I handled sales, marketing, and operations. John, sitting here, is my boss. He would lay credence to that. I had 10 people report to me. I had an HR, Tucker Phillips reported. Then I had a business, a finance person, 4 sales, 4 marketing. I had a customer marketing manager with my team. That was a commercial structure, which from my experience, and I'm hoping I'll be able to knock out a book in the next 1 year. The customer approach or the customer structure is far better than the silo of marketing, sales. I've been in all of it, and I can tell you that. So for me, your customer marketing team should report to a commercial structure. What is a commercial structure? The structure that brings out value in Naira and Kobo, because what you're looking for is that exchange. So if you have your marketing team responsible for delivering Naira and Kobo, I'm not talking about equity. Equity does not carry money to the bank. It guarantees money, but it does not take it to the bank. If the customer marketing team are in sales, for example, if you have a sales marketing structure, then customer marketing should go to sales. because at the end of the day, it's about the front line and not the back end. It's about the back line, it's about the front line, not the back line. But my ideal position have all of them on the front line. So they are meeting the customer at the same time with the same idiosyncrasies, and they approach it as one shop and one stop. That's my recommendation.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Emmanuel, did you get that? So another question is, hello, sir, you have made mention several MSc in marketing. And how about MSc in data science management? I think this is for Mr. Sam. Let me check. Let me go to another question from Peter AK. What is the future of social media marketing for SMEs who mainly depends on it to drive business growth, considering government policies? I think this is for Mr. John, because you made mention
of social media.
Yes.
All right. Basically, whatever government is doing now, I believe very, very strongly, and it's just Twitter. Whatever they are doing now is temporary. Trust me. Trust me. The government of the day, I'm sorry to say, they have not taken a holistic approach to solving the challenge. All right, but we hope they will understand as time goes on. Okay, for now, we will use social media for some time to come, because I keep saying this, and I've said it at Rome Business School too. Who are the people we are looking at now? We are looking at millennials. We are looking at Gen Zers. All right. If you are looking at millennials and Gen Zers, where do they play? They play on the social media.
Okay.
All right. And if it's about giving them what they want, you should also find them where they are playing. Okay. So I see the social media being around for some time, for as long as people like to see what goes on Instagram, for as long as people like to see what goes on Twitter. And you see, the other part of it is that I was watching a particular lady from MIT the other time, and she spoke so much about what Americans will call it mobile, but we call it mobile. If you are not having a strategy that helps to place you on these mobile devices, then something is wrong somewhere. Okay, so, and the social media is something you can have on these mobile devices. And again, like I just said, who are those playing here? They are millennials, they are Gen Zers. Not only have they gained ground now, there are people who will replace, well, I'm a very young man, but there are people who will replace some of us who are 50s, those in their 60s. All right. So I think that the social media will still be around for some time. I think that irrespective of what the government of the day thinks about Twitter or whatever they are talking about with respect to whether they want to control social media or stuff like that, it will still be relevant for business. That's my take.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. So we take just one more question and we are done. So this is from Christopher Lawal. What is the place of design thinking in meeting customers' expectation? The place of design thinking in meeting customers' expectation. And I think for this question, Mr. ID and Mr. John will just say something about it.
Well, let me go first so that my boss can close it. Is more knowledgeable than I am. You know, the beauty of marketing and all of this is that, you know, things change, words change by the moment, by the hour. Design thinking is nothing. In my world, in my time, we talked about brand architecture. So today it's taking a different name and people think it's a buzzword. It's nothing out of the woods. And so, I mean, yes, the bedrock of any customer delivery, efficient delivery, must start from the thinking, must start from the architecture. The architecture drives us, and that's the design thinking. So I see a lot of people today, you know, you want to decopulate something. you want to understand why is this working this way. You need to trace the cause and effect. And then in doing that, you need to find a way to create that pipe. And that process itself is a process of decoupling several things to present it in formats that would deliver what you're looking for. And that's the whole essence of it, frankly. I don't want to get into, but I just want to put it this way. Design thinking is the bedrock, just as we have architecture being the bedrock of building a house. Think about this, Precious. You can get your Megad to draw a plan of a house for you and then call a bricklayer to build it. And please don't stay there when the rain falls. So if you don't call an architect who will actually go through the soil, the testing, it's the same thing in putting up the building. So I think, the marketing with the buzzwords, words come with generations, with time, and we think it's new. There's nothing new under the sun. Marketing is about principles, and those principles have not changed. They're still relevant. Just the words are changed. Yes, I agree. It will. All right.
Thank you very much. Marketing has not changed, still the same. I hope we got that. Mr. John.
Oh, basically, marketing has not changed, but the processes will change, especially because of the environment, okay, and innovations that are coming from the technological space. And then basically, it's about finding solutions, okay, that responds to human needs and user feedback. And for me, I used to say something when I'm teaching the selling process. It's all about solutions. But now that innovation is the buzzword, okay? Innovation, what is it, an end in itself, or is it a means to an end? I think basically, and I'm trying to go back to the philosophy that Mr. IDN said earlier on. Is it an end in itself, or is it a means to an end? For me, it is a means to an end. So basically, what's important is that, yes, you have it, it will still continue to be relevant because now it's a world that is based on technology, and you don't even know where the whole thing is going. I watched some of the videos you shared, sir. When you look at some of the videos you shared, we have not seen an end to all the innovations.
Of course.
We've not seen an end to all the innovations. Anyway, I'm a bit worried at times when I look at all of this, like, would we still have jobs when we get to a certain point? Okay, but for me, basically, design thinking, which is about finding solutions that respond to human needs and user feedback, okay? At the end of the day, it's about the people, it's about the consumer. It is not just about the technology alone, which are the drivers of the innovation. So I'll just point this out that a question needs to be answered. Is it an end in itself, or is it a means to an end? For me, it is a means to an end. The end is customer satisfaction. The end is solution to challenges that that customers are having, and they are trying to find ways of solving. That's my take on it. Thank you very much.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to Mr. Enang and Mr. John. Right about now, we'll be calling on Mr. Sydney as he briefs us on the NIMN partnership with Rome Business School. Mr. Sydney, are you on the call?
That's my Oga.
Mr. Sydney.
That's the registrar of the institute.
Good. We're waiting for him. Okay.
Thank you so very much, Mr. John Alaye, my president and chairman of council, and other distinguished guests present at this webinar this afternoon. It's my pleasure to be in your midst. I've learned a lot from the presentation from the president and chairman of council of the National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria, in the person of Mr. I.D. Enang, and the GM Sales and Marketing of Crown Flower Mills in the person of John Olaoye. And thank you again, Mr. Sam Igwe, for putting this together. Like he said initially, the National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria is into partnership with the Rome Business School, Nigeria. If you must know, the National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria is the sole body responsible for regulating and promoting the practice of marketing in Nigeria. It has the largest community of marketing practitioners in the country. And the essence of the partnership with the Rome Business School is to facilitate human capital development through the platform of promoting professional excellence and knowledge acquisition and enrichment. And the way we want to do this is that those executive students from Rome Business Schools that are pursuing various master's programs have the opportunity to join the National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria, particularly if they've been working in a commercial sales marketing environment for a minimum of 5 years. They're eligible to participate in our fast track direct membership program, which is a 2-day visual program. And when they successfully complete that program, they'll be eligible to be inducted into the Institute as an associate full member or fellows of the Institute. The basic benefit they're going to get to that is that they'll be admitted into the largest community of marketing professionals in the country. And what that gives them is a platform to network with marketing practitioners from different spheres of the marketing environment in the country. So this one gives them opportunity to enrich their knowledge, to acquire new knowledge, and to share ideas on contemporary marketing issues. For the membership program, if you want to get more, you go to our website, www.nimn.com.ng. You will see all the information on how to enroll as a member of the Institute. We've shared this information with the Rome Business School so that you can have more information on how to become a member of the National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria. Thank you so very much for this opportunity to share this information with you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sidney. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And thank you to everybody. Right about now, we're about to close, but we cannot close without inviting our country director, Mr. Humphrey. I'm not sure I want to pronounce the surname, but yes, Mr. Humphrey. Please, if you're on the call, kindly join in.
Dr. Humphrey Akanazu.
Dr. Humphrey, thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Precious. You have done a wonderful job. You know very well, this is your area.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Mr. John. You know, I've always longed to listen to you because I know you have a lot of experience in this area. And our students have always talked a lot about your lectures. I am wishing that Mr. Idenang will one day, since he has already said it, that he will give us 2 hours. Let us wait for it. But we are waiting. We are also expecting and hoping that he will come to be part of us, to deposit this wealth of knowledge that he has had across the world, across Africa and Nigeria. You know, we need it. We need it. I want to thank Mr. Sidney, my Oga at the top. He's been a wonderful friend of Rome Business School, Nigeria, right from the start, not just today. I'm happy that we're able to conclude this partnership, and I want to thank the didactic team of Rome Business School, Nigeria, starting from Dr. Adobe, who is one of our best and great facilitators of management principles in Rome Business School Nigerian team. And her colleague, our professor in the making, Professor Sam Igwe, and the entire team of Rome Business School. I just want to say 1 or 2 things. Number one, our president is sending his greetings. Today is Monday. They are not on public holiday, so he has a lot of meeting. The second thing I want to say is I want to lend my voice to what Mr. John and Mr. Enang talked about in disruptive technology. I want to say something in disruption in social media. just to lend voice to what is currently happening. I don't want to say Twitter ban is good or bad, but one thing I want to say is that every challenging moment in the history of man is an avenue for innovation, which results, to the disruption we are talking about. Mr. John said, we don't know where this is leading. One interesting thing, when you try to stop this generation, when you try to stop them, you are giving them opportunity to find ways to innovate things that you will not even be able to stop. We have kids at home. When you try to stop them to do this, it gives them more knowledge, more innovative skills to find something better. It is Twitter. There are a lot of them coming up. In America, we have a lot of, we have Parler, we have a lot, it's just Twitter. So I know that so many people are using VPN, but who knows, something more than VPN will come. I think the best thing we need to do is to make proper use of these things to disseminate information, messages that will promote peace, that will promote unity, that will even promote development in all sectors. That is what I would like to say about this. Somebody has been asking about data science. We are talking of marketing and new technologies in marketing. In fact, in Rome Business School, we have come to understand that there's no way you can talk of marketing, you can talk of HR, you can talk of name it, project management, logistics, and you wouldn't mention data, big data. So we have data science management in Rome Business School, Nigeria. But one good thing about this is that all the other programs are connected to it. So we have in our curriculum and the different programs, something about big data. In marketing and sales, we have big data marketing. In Marcom, we have analytics. We have digital marketing. It's part of the curriculum. In HR, we have HR analytics. And I want to thank also the faculties of Rome Business School, Nigeria, who continue to give us ideas on how to better our programs. Right now, we have what we call data science infrastructure, and all these programs are connected to that data science infrastructure so that students can go there to do their codings, to look for job, to do their analytics. So data science management in Nigeria is not just for those who are doing the data science. It is connected to all the programs. I want to also thank Mr. Inang again for talking about brand management. Brand management is, that is marketing itself. When I wanted to come back, one thing Professor Antonio Ragusa made me to understand is that I want to build a brand in Nigeria and you will be part of that brand. And what he did was to make me a brand. And how did he do it? He helped me to get trend. I did marketing and communication. My own area, my own specialization is in psychology, but how I got myself into marketing was very surprising. At the end of the day, it is same marketing that I have used in all my activities in Nigeria. So marketing is one key area that sustains every business. That is the support wire for every business. And we cannot talk about business without talking about marketing. Thanks goodness we have professionals here who are faculties in the marketing department. And I really want to thank them. I really want to show appreciation to all of them, Mr. Shina Alabede, John Ojello, they are all here. I want to thank you. I know that you are the background. Thank you very much for all your support. And I encourage students to take as much as they can from these heavy professionals, these international movers, shakers of the industries in order to make our society a better place. Our motto is better managers for the better world. We believe that when we have these people, better managers in the different sectors, we will make a change in our society. It will not continue to be bad. Thank you very much. And may God bless all of us. Have a wonderful holiday. And remember to be safe, stay safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Humphrey. Thank you so much to the speakers, Mr. John, Mr. ID Enang. Thank you, Mr. Sydney. Thank you, Mr. Sam. Thank you, everybody, for joining in.
Precious
Thank you,
Dr. Humphrey.
Dr. Humphrey.
Not
Dr.
Mr.
Humphrey. So sorry for missing that out. It's not easy. Dr. Humphrey, I'm sorry. Oh. So sorry. Thank you, everybody, to all the participants. Thank you for joining in. If this is your first time, we always have events like this, and I'm sure details will be communicated on various social media platforms. If you are not following Rome Business School on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, you are sitting on a long thing. So follow us on all our social media platforms. Come to our physical office in GRA for inquiries, and keep in touch with us, as we also will keep in touch with you on upcoming programs and events that will be beneficial to all of us. Do have a nice day and enjoy the rest of your holiday. Happy Democracy Day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Precious. Thank you, everyone. Maybe we can just take, we can just on our videos and just take a photograph, screen photograph. Let's just on our videos. We'll just do that. All right. All right, let's keep it coming. Let's keep it coming. Let's on our videos. Can just show our videos. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thanks to all our panelists. Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Thank you so
much. Thank you, Dr. Adobe. Thank you, Mr. Sydney.
Thank you for a wonderful presentation.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Ciao. Thank you so much.
Very dynamic and highly competitive current situation of economic uncertainty demands qualified professionals with solid knowledge of different management areas and with personal and professional skills, such as versatility, adaptability, reflection, determination, and creativity. When it is time for employers to rank their employees, accolades don't go to those who work hard but to those who work smart. The amount of impact you can make as a business owner or as an employee in your organization relies ultimately on your experiences and your wealth of skills and knowledge. Rome Business School is a managerial training and research institute par excellence. Our mission in Nigeria is to train entrepreneurs, managers, and professionals to a level of excellence in their competence and their ethical approach to business and work. This would help them to play a part in the development of the economy. Rome Business School has obtained the ISO 9001-2015 certifications, which recognizes the top quality standards of its training activities. The ISO 9001-2015 accreditation gives our institution the quality systems that provide the foundation for excellent student satisfaction and continuous improvement. Our faculties are industry professionals with long-standing years of proven experiential experience. They provide our students with years of experience both within and outside Nigeria to tap from. With practical teachings, easy-to-apply methodologies, and real-time application opportunities through assignments and projects. There are numerous benefits you stand to gain from attending the Rome Business School Executive Master of Business Administration program. You'd gain global experience, develop your skills and competencies, you'd be able to introduce fresh ideas to your workplace. Through newly acquired classroom concepts, knowledge, and tools